So, as far as I remember, you didn't specify a subject to talk about, just that we couldn't cut very much in this, which I don't like because I usually make a lot of mistakes in my English, and like this I forget what I was going to say. So today I think I will be doing a literature ramble, a literature a literature ramble, just like I have done a few times before, and I'd like to talk to you about this book, the Fionavar Tapestry, it's called in English, and I bought this book in 2001 when I was 11 years old, and I started reading it, but turns out it's not really written for 11-year-olds, so I couldn't finish it. So it's like a trilogy in one book. So I didn't even finish the first one. I read half of the first one, and I gave up. So a few days ago I found this book, and I thought I'd try to give it a read again. And you can see I'm not that far into the book yet. The book is this fantasy story, kind of like a mix between the Arthurian legends, King Arthur, and the Norse mythology, with all of these. I actually have a book about Norse mythology. So it's a mix between those two and kind of Lord of the Rings thingy. So it's very fantasy mixed with fantasy, I think. It's about 5 people who study at the university in Toronto, and they are magically transported to this world called Fionavar, I think. I don't know how to say that. And so they slowly start to get these roles in Fionavar, like being a sorcerer or a prince or stuff like that. Yeah, so I haven't read that much more yet, but I know that later on in this trilogy, King Arthur and Lancelot and Guinevere from the old legends, they enter into the story, so it's all kind of mixed together. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading. Skal vi mødes over i spisesalen på et tidspunkt, eller hvad? Yeah. I'm sorry, someone just called me, so I had to cut this anyway. But I like to talk about books that I'm buying or want to buy or wish I had. Anyway, I made this list yesterday, and there's quite a few books that I wish I had. The first one is the Cider House Rules by, and then there's Moby Dick, because John Green talked so much about it that I think I'd like to give it a read. And a classic, David Copperfield, I'd like to read that as well. And Paper Towns and Looking for Alaska as well. Then a few books by C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity, The Problem of Pain, and the Narnia series. I already read the first 6 Narnia books, but I'd like to have them all on my bookshelf to read and reread and stuff. Then I have to read this because I don't remember it all, but the posthumous memoirs of Bras Cubas, I think. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's the book that Erica talked about a few weeks back. Then a Danish book called The Fisherman in English, about these fundamental Christians in Denmark a lot of years ago. I'm sorry. And Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. I'd like to read that as well. And the book Blue Light Jazz, yeah, by Donald Miller. Those are the books that I want to read, and I'd like to hear your thoughts if any of you read any of them, so I can decide which one to buy first. Maybe